Always pay attention before you pull a unit out. You never know how short or long the cord is. This cord should be longer. You always want to pull just a little bit and take an eye and look, because if you yank this too far, you can snap that, end up with a leak. All right, be super careful. All right, I'm going to turn water off. All right, so we're gonna go to the front and disconnect. The water is pressurized when you initiate the water. So you shouldn't have any pressure until you press. Now some models have an individual valve that feeds when you initiate. So when the ice maker calls for water, it gets pressurized. But when you're changing your filter, you should always turn water off, release the pressure, then insert your filter. It's a hit and miss. You end up damaging the filter housing. So keep that in mind. So, all right, what I'm gonna do, a couple tests I'm gonna do first. We can power these individually, but we know we're getting power, we heard it. But in case you're not, I'm gonna do them individually. So we're gonna go to the front and we're gonna remove one of the lines from the filter housing. We're gonna press the door water and we should get water. Let's do that. All right, so here's your setup. We have 1/4 inch to 5/16. It's a quick connect, my tester. Water's coming in from the wall, going in, goes here. Now, once you activate the door, you should get water out of here. And if you don't, then we got a bad valve. If we get water, that tells us that our filter head is bad. All right, so let's check that. Take a look. Yeah, I just turned it a little bit and it stopped. So okay. Look right there, there's water. Yeah. So I'll snug it up better though. You also should get a longer line. You see how short this is? If you're not careful when you're pulling it out, you can easily rip this off. And they should have actually put it straight instead of at an angle. Actually just saw it dripped. Because it's plastic, it's PVC, so you gotta be super careful. So we should really get a longer one of this.
Is that something that you have available?
Yeah, I might even have one on the truck, so okay. I'll check and we should change it.
If it needs to be different, then change it.
Yeah,
definitely.
So at least if you pull the fridge out, you're not gonna have that accident. It's cheap insurance.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So all right.
No worries. How's the rest of the?
So far it looks like the filter housing is bad, but I haven't totally determined that. I think we're good here. So it's that black thing in the front of the fridge. Okay. That may be bad. So it looks like I don't know if you were making. You have ice.
Yeah, we had a whole thing of ice.
Right.
And then yeah.
So was that before? Okay, water's on. No leaks. We're going to go to the door and we're going to press the door. You should hear water. I'm going to leave you guys back here so you can see it. Actually, let me secure this so we can have a good visual. Alright, so remember, we weren't getting water from the door. That sends water to the door after the filter housing. So now I'm going to press the door. We should get water coming out of here if this is good. All right, we're going to put this back together. We're going to order the filter housing in the front. Everything's good here. We have good water, power, pressure, all that is good. So now we're going to go to the front and we're going to press water. Water's going to go all the way through the inside. Goes up the door. So let's go check that. All right, this is bad. All right, so we're going to pretty much disconnect everything and wait for the new part to come in, and then we're gonna connect it back. I will ask the customer if he wants to leave it like this, so at least they have some ice, and go from there. And if you wanted to bypass yours, that's pretty much how you would do it. Okay. If you have a house filtration, then you don't need filter. This is how you would do it. All right. So you'd make this shorter, of course. I'll include another video, just a section from another job where the customer did not want the filter housing and I did a bypass. I'll include that one in this clip as well. Towards the end, you'll see how the bypass was done. It was a cleaner. This is temporary, so this was temporary, so I didn't want to include too much. So normally we'd cut that line, make it shorter, and use a 90 degree. Instead of coiling it like that, you just have a short connection and a 90 degree elbow. All right, still works, just don't kink the line. And make sure your connections are fully inserted. All right, so be mindful. When I was putting back the valve, everybody, I noticed there was a tiny bit of leak. So double check And just be mindful that, be aware that the connection that was dripping was actually over the drain pan. So not the end of the world, but you don't want to have it dripping, because if it drips too much, you could actually end up with a leak. So what I ended up doing, I pulled out the keeper, went and checked, and the leak had stopped. We are going to replace that valve as well. I mentioned to the customer. Pay attention. Shortly, you'll see when I check the water, and you can see the water pressure. Okay, not bad. All right, we're gonna button up. We're done here. Put the cover on, slide the fridge back. We're also gonna replace this line. Way too short, but for now we're good. When I come back to replace the part, we shall do that. All right, so the first portion on the valve, looking at it, you're gonna need a 1/4 inch vinyl tube, and the first it's gonna go into the valve, then into the blue 90°, and then from there it's gonna be another 1/4 inch, which is gonna go into the 1/4 inch, and the other end is gonna be 5/16. So that's the setup on that. The last connection is a 1/4 and 5/16 quick connect, and that connects everybody. Hopefully that helps. This customer, he has a home filtration, so he does not need the filter housing. So that was what we did. We went ahead and took it out of circuit. Now, I was just showing how to put back on the kick panel. Sometimes it can be a pain in the butt. So I'm just explaining to the customer here if he wants me to leave it off, because you do have some lint. So he said he will take care of that. So we're pretty much wrapping up here. Just wanted to show you guys. Now, once you're done, if you want, you can actually put back your filter housing carcass, so to say, back in the opening, so you don't have a gaping hole. All right, we are done here. Thanks for watching.